Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Quantum Leap morning homework session for Wednesday, March the 26th, 2014. For those that are visiting on Twitter or watching this on YouTube after the fact, my name is Doug McKay. I am the founder and head moderator for Quantum Leap. We are a self-organized learning environment. We've had a Skype chat room for traders for over 4 years now. We come together each day, talk about the market, talk about trading, talk about ideas, and then each morning we come into a live go-to and look at the market structure. We start with the macro to the micro, so if you're watching this on YouTube, we go through a normal routine to prepare ourselves for our daily trading, and we start with the basics with the key numbers and then work our way down to the macro to the micro on the trends, and then get into some more in-depth chart analysis. So you may want to just skip ahead if you're watching this after the fact. But we do not skip in trading. There are no shortcuts, so we do our regular routine every morning. If you're interested in finding out more about Quantum Leap and about Stealth, please feel free to send me a email to d.mckay@stealthtrader.com, or you can send me a contact request at Doug_McKay. I'll be the one from Windsor, Ontario, Canada. Before we get going, I have to get the legals out of the way, so let me do that. This information is for the purpose of educating members who want to expand their knowledge of business trading. It's not for trading or investment advice. You and only you are responsible for the trades or investment decisions you make. Trading futures, any investment involves risk loss. Please consider carefully whether futures or options are appropriate to your financial situation. Only risk capital should be used when trading futures or options. Investors could lose more than initial investment. Nobody at Quantum Leap is a certified trading advisor. We are retail traders operating within a self-organized learning environment. Past performance is not indicative of future results, and any trades you see in Quantum Leap are for education purposes only. Please do your own due diligence, trade your own plan. Now, quick announcement. Tomorrow we are going to have some live trading going on. Stealth Trader is going to do some trading right after we get done our morning homework session. So we'll be leaving the go-to open tomorrow for a period of time, probably till about 11:30 Eastern Time. If you're interested in finding out more about Stealth, if you're not familiar with Stealth, this is Stealth Analytics. This is trading with no more charts, and very excited to be part of Stealth. And moving forward, we're going to have some exciting things. And tomorrow, you'll actually see Stealth Trader himself trading live. So stick around, come back tomorrow, visit us tomorrow, because we've got some cool stuff going on. All right, so let's get to the key numbers and get our numbers out of the way. So obviously, we're holding above 1837.75, which is the year open. Now, there's three key numbers above us that I want you to pay attention to. There is the adjusted all-time RTH meaning regular trading hours between 8:30 Central and 4:15 Central, and the high in the RTH session adjusted to the June contract is 77.75, and that is just under our 20-day ATR target today at 78.25. But more importantly, we have the adjusted all-time high up at 80.50, and it is typical for them to go adjust the highs, where they don't like to have the highs put in the Globex. Usually the RTH participants will go up and take out that Globex high, and that's at 80.50. Now those are the adjusted highs. The actual high, of course, is this high right here, put in the March contract at 1887.50, and that again has a tendency to be taken out because of the fact that they don't like to have unequalized highs, and the market has memory, and it'll usually come back, and the new contract will come up and test the highs of the old contract. In terms of other numbers to watch, well, we're above the 1855.50, which is the week open. We're currently trading. I don't have my charts up. What is the actual? What are we trading at right now? 66. So we're sitting right at our previous month high at 66.50. So those are key levels to keep an eye on in terms of the macro numbers. Also, this 41.25 is also an important number below us, but we'll look at that on the composite. We'll be going through all of this. Let's take a look at what happened yesterday. Excuse me. We had another Globex that was lower. We had a open yesterday at 50.25, high in the Globex at 59, low in the Globex at 48, and then we opened the RTH session in range at 59. We had an open auction in range. We broke the IB to the one side, to the downside, and had a normal variation day. Now, one of the things that I teach in my courses is the fact that you got to look for the clues that the market is giving you. So, two of the clues that we got right, on the open yesterday is we opened auction in range and in value, and then we had an opening swing of 4 points. When you get an opening swing of 2 points or greater, it usually means that the market on open orders or the MU orders have a great disparity in perceived value. And when you get that, you have a general realization that you're going to get a rotational day. And there's a bunch of clues that we look at moving forward. But the auction will give you, these clues to tell you what type of day is setting up, and if you pay attention to them, it will really reward you in your trading. Our initial balance high, initial balance being the 1 hour high and low, a high of 64.50. Well, that was our main target above, and I do have to apologize. Let me bring this chart up so that I can show you. I do have to apologize because I must be slipping or something, because if I look at I thought I had this chart open. Hold on 1 second. I must have closed it down. Oh, there it is right there. I must have not named it. We did go up yesterday. So this was our levels that we had set up for yesterday. And of course, we talked about going up and hitting that main target above, which is the microcomposite VPOC at 64. We hit that to the tick, but I was sloppy with my level down here. I set it up at 46.50 because I really thought if we came down and tested that overnight low that we'd push through and test the other side of balance in that CLVN at 46.50, and we didn't. But we did end up with a rotational day. But I'm just going to have to tighten my numbers up a bit. But I felt bad that I hope nobody got caught not trying to front run that and didn't get that long off of that 48. But anyway, that's besides the point. We continue to improve. There's never perfection, right? Going back to the numbers, all the intraday numbers were higher except for the high itself, which was a lower high at 64.50. So they are coming up and they're accepting this value, right now in this range that we're trading. And my main hypothesis is as long as we continue to trade within this range, we'll go back and forth like we have, but eventually they're going to break out of the range, and I really believe that we're going to break out to the upside. So my main hypothesis is we pop before we drop. Our 1230 number, 59.25. Our high, 64.50. Key area, 64.50. Microcomposite VPOC. Our RTH low was 48. It was the Globex low from yesterday. Our close, 59.25, and the VPOC shifted up from 49.50. So the VPOC is playing ping pong right now, back and forth in the last 4 days as they fight this area out. Nothing else really comes to mind in the numbers. 20-day ATRs continue to expand. You can see we're now back up over 20 points range for the 20-day ATR for the full session, just under 17 on the RTH and just under 11 on the Globex. And then value area was higher. Value area high 62.25, value area low 53.75, and we had a make and break on our IB time study. We're coming back down to these make and breaks again inside the first pocket, or what we call the pocket, which is the first 15 minutes after the initial balance is put in. So keep an eye on that. We were starting to break later, and I had been noticing that in 2014, but now you can see we can actually just do a quick run on this and just take a quick look at it here. So the average right now is just outside of just inside of the second pocket at 9:54 Eastern time. Sorry, Central time. But lately we've been getting back to a make and break. Jumping over to the daily report, looking at our current high and low on the full session. It is just the Globex, but it is the full session. Our 20-day ATR target to the upside, 78.25. Our RTA target based on the full session so far, 47.50. So both areas that are near some key numbers. News today, we had core durable goods. Really didn't give us much impact. We do have flash services PMI at 845. And we have crude at 930. So just keep an eye on this. This is a relatively medium news event, so it shouldn't cause much of a reaction, but you never know what the market's going to give you. Just want to take a quick look at the COT report again, keep us aware of where we are in the structure of things. You can see that the center line, the zero line, there's where the ES is trading right now, and then you've got the three core areas that we track, which is the commercial paper, which is this line right here, and then we've got the large spec and then the small spec, and the small spec being retailers. You can see that both the large spec and the commercial are net negative, so they're already getting to the short side. I'm still anticipating this blow off top. I don't know how high it's going to go, but the smart money has left the building, and they're probably selling into this rally right now. And we're likely to have the small specs left as bag holders. So let's go and take a look at the macro to the micro, see where we are in the trend. We start with the monthly. All the charts that you're going to see have the 9 EMA and the 20 SMA. Those are the two moving averages that I track the trend with, and you can see that the monthly is respecting the 9 very strongly. We are trading in the upper distribution above last month's high, and we got good slope and separation on the 9 and the 20. The trend is very much intact on the monthly. On the weekly, we came down and tried to break below the 9, pop back up, and we're currently trading in the upper distribution of the last 3 weeks. So we've got good slope and separation on the 9 and the 20. The trend is very much intact. We do have a possible head and shoulders, but it is not set up yet, so we can't really trade off of it. Just keeping an eye on whether or not it continues to develop. On the daily, we had some weakness come in. We closed below the 9 and the 20, then we popped up, and we basically been trading in this range and consolidating and coiling for a move. And I think that the move is going to be to the upside. Again, that's my opinion, and I don't know what the market's going to do, but based on my analysis, we pop before we drop. Going over to the geometric chart, we hit that energy point we were talking about the other day. Basically, pretty dead on. There's four forks on this chart. There's the long-term fork. This represents the center line of the long-term fork we've been tracking for many months. Then we have the intermediate fork. That is the center line right here, which is this red one. And then we have two opposing forks, which is this intermediate downward sloping fork, and then the one that I drew in the other day. Now we're breaking out of this downward sloping fork. I thought we had some pretty good frequency on this, so I thought this would be have a stronger reference. If we break out of it and we get above the center line right here, I'm likely to get rid of this particular fork. But I want to keep it in just in case we fail down, because we have a energy point against the lower line of the longer-term fork here at 1855.50. Key levels to keep an eye on, we're testing the center line of the intermediate fork right now. If we break above that, a move to test the upper line of the downward opposing fork is going to be in that 1875 area. And, of course, we have our 20-day ATR target up there at 78, and we also have our RTH adjusted June high at 77.75. So some key numbers there. If we fail off here and come down to test the lower line of the longer term upward sloping fork, that takes us down into that 1853 area. And that's an area we have been watching in our composite charts, which, let's go, before we do, I just want to do a look at the intraday numbers, so see where we are in the trend coming into the RTH session. 4 hour doesn't tell us anything. We do have a naked cross on the 4 hour right here at 1858 and a quarter. Got a bit of a tech gap here, so might get some downward pressure coming into this. But overall, the 4 hour is got no trend intact. We're just consolidating sideways. On the 30-minute, a little bit different story. We've got good slope, good separation. We've got a little bit of a tech gap that we came down and closed on that news, core durable goods, and then we popped back up, and we've got another little bit of a tech gap right here, but we do have good slope and separation, so the trend coming into the market on the 30-minute is to the upside. We do have a naked cross here on the 30-minute at 61 and a quarter. That's a key level, actually at 61.50. That's a key level, so keep an eye on that as a target. If we see some weakness, I'd be looking for a rotation back to take out that naked cross there. And let's just go down one more level to 5-minute. And you can see the 5-minute has had a very strong trend since early this morning. A couple tech gaps that were closed out, but we're holding the 9 EMA. Lost a little bit of slope, okay, in separation as they came down and off of that news, but we're popping back up, and we're still holding the 9 and the 20. So overall, the trend is holding right now coming into this open. So let's take a look at the big picture. You can see that we're back up into the prior balance area. I've put a profile around all the days leading from the March 4th through to yesterday, and the most accepted price is 64.50. I was talking about this when we were down, trading down here, saying that value is not coming down with us. We've left value above us, and that we're likely to go back up and test that value. And then if we came back up here and accepted this value, that they'd go and try to take out some of these upper targets. So key levels to keep an eye on right now. I want to add another CLVN right here at 68.50. But we've got the value area high from the first time we came up. I know this is getting a little bit convoluted, but just listen to the levels. 71, which is one tick above what was a CLVN yesterday at 71, is now shifted down to 70.50, but it's really 71 that I'm watching. If we can get above the 68.50, then I'm looking for a rotation to 69.75 and a push through to test the other side of balance around that at the 70, 75, 71 area, with the next destination, and the real test is going to be the 73.50. And the 73.50 is the value area high for this whole micro composite that we've got up here. And if we can get above the 70.50, 71, I'm looking for a strong move into the 73.75. And then if we can break out of the value that we've been in, then you've got the 77.75, and then the, I don't know why this is still here, and then the 80.50 just above. And those are my two main targets above. So my targets above right now are the 73.50, the 77.75, and the 80.50. But if we fail to get back above the 68, the current 7-day microcomposite value area high is this 1866 and a quarter. Remember, 1866.50 was last month's high, and or was it last week's high? It's a key number at 66.50. We'll look at it when we get back into the intraday chart. But if we get back inside of the 66.50, which was what day is it? Monday's high at 66.50, then we're likely to rotate back down and try to pick up buyers again at 64.50. We just made a move down and picked up buyers in the Globex just a few minutes down in this area again. So we're going to be, if we still hold up in this area, we're going to open out of value, out of range, and we have to look for initiative buyers stepping in on the RTH to take us up to that 69. But if we get back into the value area below 66, then I'd be looking for a rotation back towards the 62.25, but it's really the 61.50, and the 61.50 is the value area low from the first time that we came up here and tried to hold value up here. So I'll be watching that 61.50. It's an area that has been significant. And then below that, I'd be looking for a move down into this 58.75 with the other side of balance. 55.25 is going to be my line in the sand for short or long. So I'm playing off a 68.50 to the short side with a failure there, and I'm playing off of 55.25 to the long side if we come down and find responsive buyers down here. But if we get below 55, then I think we're rotating back down into first target, which is the 53.50 value area low of the overall microcomposite. But really I'm looking at this 50.75 with the other side of balance and what was our key line in the sand yesterday, which was 46.75, and we didn't quite get down there. I thought we would if we did see some weakness, but they stepped in at that 48 level, and you can see we're getting starting to get a CHVN down here at 48 as the buyers step in and hold us above there. But anything below 46.50, I think this run is over, and we're going to have to come down lower. And the first target below is the 40.50, 41.75 area, somewhere between these two numbers. But I really think that it's going to be lower this time. I keep talking about this area down here. Now I'm looking for that weakness to come down and test this area of undetermined fair value between 34.50. 34.75, 29.50, and 25.25. And I think we come down here and shop around there. If we, call it 39. If we get below 39, then I think we're outside of value, outside of this balance area, and we come down into this old balance area, in around this, 25.25. And chop around between these three areas of undetermined value. So let's go take a look at our Globex and move our numbers over. We've got that 67.50. Just get this. So right now we have our Globex high at 67.50. We're likely to possibly put in a higher Globex high before the open, so we just have to keep an eye on that and adjust it as we go. And then our overnight low is all the way down at 58.25. So that's just below our naked VPOC from yesterday. We had a double distribution day yesterday with a key area, this LVN and the midpoint here at 56.25. So let me deal with the downside first, and then we'll look at our areas above. Of course, the 64.50 is that very important number at 60 at the microcomposite VPOC. That's going to be a trade area. But I'm also looking at the 66. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to put two lines in here, because what I'm going to suggest that you wait to do is, if we get below 66, I would get short into this 64.50, and then get in and get funded before you get to the 64.50, because the 64.50 is going to act as a magnet. Okay, and then if we get below that, the first target below is going to be 62.25, which is the value area high from yesterday. But let me reverse that around. If we do come down and we get below the 64.50, wait till we're above the 66 before you try to get long. Don't try to get long above 64.50 here, because we could just get up and then just see responsive sellers step in and rotate us down. So this, the 66 to 64.50 is going to be kind of a no man's land where you want to be careful and not get caught up. Our overnight VPOC is down here at 62.50, which is just above that target. So that's if I think we get below 64.50, like I said, and get inside of the range from yesterday, we're likely to come down and test the value area high and take out that overnight VPOC and take out our first target. And then inside of range, we've got the naked close at 59.50 from yesterday, and the naked VPOC at 58.75, and that will be our main target area below, with the other side of that balance being down here at 56.25. So that will be an area that I'll be looking for responsive buyers to step in. So this area right here, we'll just put a target, okay, in between the two of them, because it's really the two of them, and we'll make this our main target below. But my main hypothesis is if we hold outside of value and and above the 60, it's actually 61.50 that I'm looking at. If we hold 61.50, in fact, you know what? I'm going to put a trade area right at that 61.50. If we hold above the 61.50, then I'm looking for a rotation back up and a move to test these higher numbers that I was talking about. So let me just open this up so we can see this a little bit clearer. So so we got our first level above us. We got the overnight high, of course. 96% probability of taking out the overnight high if we trade right here. Look, anytime you get an open where you're going to be opening out of value and opening out of range, you've got to look for a possible initiative buying coming in on the market on open orders and a possible open drive. If we get an open drive, do not try to fade the open drive. Okay, you'd have to wait until it breaks a key level, and I think you really have to wait till it breaks that 66. Okay, but you don't want to start. You see initiative buyers stepping in here, and we just tear it on the open. Don't try to fade that, because that could turn into a vertical development day, a trend day, and you can get your face peeled, and we don't want your face peeled because you'll look pretty ugly. So if we're looking above, the number I'm looking above to break above 68.50 on an open drive. If we break above 68.50 on an open drive, I'm going to get long into 69.75, which will be the initial target above us, with the other side of balance being that 71. And then above that, we've got the naked VPOC and the value area high up here at 73.50, and that's going to be 73.50 is a target. Oh, come on. But it's really anywhere between the 73 and the 73.50. And above 73.50, it's a target, it's a trade area. Above 73.50, I'm looking at 77.75 and 80.50. And then we've got our main target above, but there is the ATR 20-day target at 78. Oops. What is it? 78.25. So we got to look for a possibility of responsive buyers coming in here at the 78.50, 77 and a quarter area. So just be careful in this area. But I think if we get close, we've left it close once already. We got up into the 76, 75 area, and they stepped in there. This time, I don't think they're going to step in. I think it's going to blow through and go up and hit that 80.50. All right, so let's take a look at what this looks like so far on the Renko with Keltner. I was talking about this possible walk the line setup right here. We got the Renko reversal, then we came up. If we close above this this Keltner on this particular bar, now the way it's setting up, I'd look for a walk the line setup up to 69.75, possibly even that 71. This is a trade that those who've been in the room, that's one of my favorite trades to take. And of course, we've got the same thing possible on the Russell as well coming up here. Let me just quickly move over to gold, make a couple comments on gold. As I talked about yesterday, we came down and validated this cup and handle pattern. We had a longer term broadening descending wedge coming into this, which is a very powerful bottoming pattern. And then now we've got this this cup, and the handle has validated. It can still continue to validate all the way down to 1260 area, 1258. And the way I would trade this is if we break 1300, get short into this 1260 area. And there's a couple targets, 1290 and then 1283, I think. We'll take a look at it there. So I would take it to the short side there. I wouldn't take the bounce off of here. I think it's too dangerous. It's got risk to it. But if we break out once we get back up here and break above the 1400 and the upper right rim of this cup, then you got a measured move all the way up to 1600, and that's a pretty big move, measured move. So this is a, and it's coming off of a descending broadening wedge. So this is the compilation of two very strong measured move patterns, and I want to be long above 1400. Plus, you can. The good thing is above 1400, you can play the rule of 10, get in, get funded before 1410, and then leave a runner for a much bigger move. And remember, the market does not move in straight lines, so you're going to get some rotations along the way. And let's take a look quickly on the composite, what that looks like on gold. So add so far, we'll add today in, and you can see that we're trading right in balance down here. We've got a double distribution in this this microcomposite VPOC, and with the key line between is 1320, and then the low is down here at this 1306, but it's really 1304. Below 1304, you're breaking out of the range and out of the value area low, and you could probably take the short into 1300 because I think they'll come down here. And then, of course, as I mentioned, if you get below 1300, then I'd be looking for a bigger retracement for the handle of the cup and handle pattern, and your first destination below is this 1290 and a quarter. Then you've got the 1282.30 and 1274. With the big number down here being that 1258.60. But we've got to be careful of this, 1280. The 1258 area, you can see that we had, value and the microcomposite VPOC down here, right in around that 58 area. But if we break below that, then it invalidates the cup and handle pattern, and I'd be looking for a bigger retrace with the big target below at 4070, and then 1226 area, and 1203, and I think we test the lower 12s, and then if we break into the 1100s, the big number down below is this 1160, but that's a long ways off right now. So right now I'd be looking and trading this 1304. We're getting a little bit of weakness in gold, and if we break that, I'd get short into a test of 1300, and then leave one running, because if we break 1300, you got a nice move down here to 1290 and a possibly bigger move. To the upside, if we get above this 1320 area, it's 1319.70 to be exact, then look for rotation back up to test the value area high here at 1329, and this key microcomposite that we just came down and retested again at 1333, 1334 area. And then with the other side of balance, and the big number above us is up here at this 4570. And if we get above 4570, then those other numbers come into play, which is the 52, the 65, the 77, and the 86, which was the numbers that we were watching with if we broke out of this balance area right here. So that's everything I got. I never saw Howard show up this morning, so that is going to complete our morning homework session. I will post the charts in the various rooms and on Twitter. As always, trade well, trade safe, and we will catch you on the flip side.